We are live. Let's go. Let's go. Let's reactivate that so you guys can see the chat. We're live. Make sure you can see TikTok chat as well. How are we doing? Let's see. Advance. There we go. How are we doing, everyone? How are we doing? Hey, Mogs, we are so back. We are so back. It feels great. I've missed these. I've missed being on stream, guys, honestly. International break just absolutely ruins things. Sell Semenyo for Gakpo, says Joko12 on TikTok. I believe that's not a bad shout, to be honest. I do think Semenyo will be fit, in all honesty. I think he will feature within this game, Joko. But honestly, the fixture run for Gakpo is pretty good, so I don't mind the move. I would personally keep a hold of Semenyo, but I like your thoughts. I like your thoughts. I do. Doku or Foden? I would lean more towards Foden. The minutes are so much more secure there. Amazing for my country, Ireland, though. Yes, I was thinking about you when I seen the goal, man. I don't know if there's another a regular viewer who's Irish. I have one free transfer to use for whoever for 1 game week, since I'll be wildcarding in game week 13. Who should I get? Ooh, a 1 week punt. Let's have a little think about that. CR7 got mugged off too. I know, right, bro? Let's have a look at a 1 week punt for Demetrius here. I mean, if budget is unlimited, where would I go? Where would I go? I don't mind Cunha this week. Hi, how we doing, MK? Yeah, for 1 week I would go Cunha, and for even just a longer period of time, I would go Cunha as well. I really like Cunha this week and going on in FPL. I really do. Let's see if I can share the live stream as well. Let's get people involved in the live today. Share it on X. But yes, guys, if you want your team rating or reviewed, make sure you get your team IDs sent on YouTube chat, or you can send them also through Instagram or X. It's completely up to you guys, but just let me know where you have sent your teams, your team IDs, and I'll sort that out on stream. MK says, should I do Paqueta to Bruno, risky Semenyo, or take a -4, do Paqueta and Gabriel to Timber and Bruno, or Saka and a 5.6 defender? I think I would most likely... I mean, MK, you've sent your team ID in there, bro. So what we'll do is we'll get your team live on stream right now on YouTube. First one of the live stream reviewing MK's team. So we'll have a little look at your transfer plans as well, because, of course, some moves to be made by the sounds of things with your side this week. 1 free transfer. You're thinking of doing Paqueta to Bruno Fernandes. Paqueta to Bruno is probably the way I would go about it. Would I take a -4, though? Paqueta and Gabriel. I mean, if we did the Bruno move and then sold Gabriel as well, you could go Timber, because we have enough money for that. It's just then, where would he fit? Where would he fit in? Would it be a bench of Semenyo just in case? Yes, Orange Apple in chat. You'll notice how my face just lit up when I seen your name there, bro. Welcome, dude. Welcome. Oh, wrong bloody thing. I mean, MK, I don't even know if it's worth a -4, because your team looks strong as is. So you could just make the move to Bruno this week, or you could do the move from Gabriel, in all honesty. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Gonna send my team on Insta. Send it through on Insta, bro. I'll accept your request. We'll get to it just after Jack's. We're looking at MK's team currently, though. So MK, for me, one free transfer. You've already got Virgil. Gabriel is going down in price tonight. You bought him at 6.3, so selling him tonight is probably the best move if you want to profit from it. That could be something you do. I'm sick of clicking that bloody button there. So yeah, if you want to make some money there, you could do that. I think the -4 could be an option, in all honesty. So yeah, I would maybe consider the -4 there, but I would still keep Semenyo. I would. Hold on, TikTok. I'm just going to restart the live. 2 seconds. Of course, TikTok's playing up. The first stream back. We'll save that. But yeah, MK, I like the idea, but I don't know if a -4 is needed so much this game week, in all honesty. What do you reckon, dude? Let's get Jack's team up now, though. Let's get Jack's team on screen. Connor brought in Munoz and Rice for Gabriel and Kudus. They seem like really solid moves, in all honesty. They really do. Right, Jack's team on screen here. Welcome back, TikTok, by the way. Just had a bit of a technical issue there. So Jack's team, 3 free transfers. Jack, you always seem to have 1 million transfers in the bank. You always have loads, and I am jealous, I have to admit. Someone on TikTok's asked, Kudus to who below 8.2? Gakpo, Eze, Otara. I like Cunha a lot. I really like Cunha. I don't think Gakpo's a bad option, though. I do like Gakpo. I mean, this week, Jack, Saliba for Gabriel this week, probably. Yeah, that's probably what I would do, but I do like Timber quite a lot. You are saving a little bit of money with Saliba there, though. So I don't mind the Saliba punt. So we'll put that in and process that. In terms of transfers elsewhere, like we could upgrade a midfielder of King here to somebody else. Where to send? If you go over to the YouTube live stream with the link in the bio, Ishmael, you can send your team through that. You could go through Instagram, X, or you can send your team ID on the YouTube live. So go join on YouTube. You'll be able to see your team on screen here. Yeah, it is good to be back, guys. It is good to be back. But yeah, what else are you thinking, Jack, in terms of transfers? Because, you know, one free transfer and you're kind of set with your team this week, really, aren't you? Everyone's got pretty decent fixtures. Is Njai on the sell list this week, would you say, Jack? I mean, the fixtures for Everton haven't really been great, and they're still not too brilliant themselves, are they? But I do agree, selling Gabriel is probably the move, and I would probably do it tonight, in all honesty, lads. If you are thinking about selling Gabriel, tonight's probably the night I would move. He is due a price drop this evening. I'll get that up and show you guys the price changes this evening. Thought about Szoboszlai. The problem is with Szoboszlai, it seems like he'll be playing right back against Forest anyway. So would that even be a move that you'd want to make this evening, or for the deadline? So as you can see here, the price rises tonight. We're expecting a Virgil van Dijk rise, Minte, Thiago, Cherki all to rise this evening, and players to drop are likely to be Semenyo, Grealish, Reinders, and Gabriel. So yeah, a few things to consider there if you are planning to make some moves this evening. JP says, bro, I've cooked. However, -8 points. What did you do, JP? What did you do? Who was next on the list? Let's have a little look. It might have been Connor. I do think we had, if you haven't read already. I think there was an Instagram team just before. I think it was Aman's team, so we'll get Aman's team up here. First Instagram team of the video. Aman's team here. I would go Virgil van Dijk instead of Saliba, but I don't trust the Liverpool defence. I think that's my personal transfer this game week, in all honesty. Jack. Where can I see my FPL ID? So I'll show you live on screen here. If you go to the FPL website on your phone, click Game Week History, your team ID will be in the URL link. It's slightly cut off on screen here, but it goes to Game Week History on the FPL website on your phone or a laptop, whatever you're using, and then your team ID will be in the URL link, guys. With Aman's team, though, Captain Calfridge on YouTube. Semenyo, should I stay in? I would personally keep Semenyo. I think he'll play tomorrow. And even if he doesn't, I think the good fixtures to come. It doesn't seem like a bad injury. It's more of a knock that he's had for a little while now. But with Aman's team here, 3 free transfers. What moves could we make? I mean, the West Ham defence is probably something I would get rid of. Thinking of buying a new car moves. Any suggestions to pull some 1010s? I heard a Vauxhall Corsa is pretty popular with the ladies. Orange Apple. What we thinking? I mean, Aman, what's your suggestions in terms of your plans here? Because I'll be looking at Juve, Voltamada maybe, and move them on. What do you reckon? I think going Juve out, potentially Van de Ven out, and then Voltamada out, and then reshuffling the defence completely is how I'd go about with Aman there. I'd look. Can I accept on Insta a shot? Yeah, of course, man. We've got Aman's team just currently on screen here. If you want to see your team live on screen, though, JP, go over to the YouTube live stream. I forgot about FPL until I saw your live. Yeah, so Aman, I would personally reshuffle the defence here. I'd go Juve, Van de Ven out, maybe even Voltamada, and then reshuffle, put some really quality players in there, and perhaps get Thiago up front and save a bit of money up tops. So that's how I'd kind of go about that. Joey, we've got JP. Where is that? I'll accept your request, Joey. 2 seconds, bro. Can I send my team? You absolutely can, dude. Absolutely can. Jack's got his team for Instagram as well. Accepted that request. And Dylan as well. If you're still in, guys, I've accepted your requests there. I think we're currently going to have a look at Orange Apple's team next, though. I think he was next in line. You actually are thinking of buying a new car, though? What car are you looking at, dude? So Orange Apple's team next, guys. Let's get it up. I still have all my chips. I was thinking of maybe Voldemort, Juve, and yeah, that's exactly my suggestions, Aman, personally. That's how I would tackle things. 100%. Good reshuffle, a bit cheaper in the forward line. Orange Apple's team here, though. What are we saying, Orange Apple? What are you thinking this week? Is there any planned transfers? You've already got Van Dijk in your team. I'm guessing he would play this week instead of Voltamada, maybe. Would you make an early move on Thiago for next week? I mean, straight away, my thoughts would be possibly going Thiago. Maybe not playing him this week, which kind of sucks. But, next week, you would have then Thiago for Burnley at home. So you could bench someone like Calafiori against Chelsea away, which is kind of a difficult fixture. Or if you're back in the Arsenal defence, look to keep Calafiori, bench Enzo in that case. So maybe making the Thiago transfer a bit earlier isn't such a bad idea with this side. It would be selling Voltamada, though. I don't know how you feel about that personally. I'm not too keen on Newcastle at the moment myself. I think the form's kind of not that strong, in all honesty. So yeah, let me know what you think of that, dude. Because look, if I pull up Voltamada's fixtures there for you, like, I don't know, doesn't seem that strong. Burnley in 15's not too bad. Sunderland away, of course, is a really cagey fixture. Anything can happen within that game, of course. So something to consider. Obviously, it's Manchester United, Everton, Spurs. They don't feel immediately strong, but Burnley on the horizon, and then of course in 19 as well isn't too bad. But yeah, there's not a lot of things I would change with the side and all that. I think it is quite strong. Where we at though? Sent mine. MBG edits. If you do want your team rated though, guys, you can send a screenshot on Instagram. You can send your team ID in the chat on YouTube, and we'll have a little look at your side. MBG's team here though. Do believe it's Mo. Do you think it's Mo? Yeah, I think it is Mo. We're catching up a little bit, guys. I think we've got Jack just after, and then maybe Connor just after that team there. So on Mo's team here, is Foden a good asset? Yeah, I think he's pretty decent, to be honest. I do. But this is Mo's side, guys. What do we reckon? Are we liking it? Joffre is so goated, I can't lie. Yeah, one of my work colleagues was watching. Well, not watching the cricket because we can't watch while we're working, but just sort of keeping up with the game because we were working early in the morning. So I've seen a few little bits of the cricket lads. Voldemar de Juf and Van der Ven to Richards, Thiago, and any 5.6. O'Reilly, yeah, that could be an interesting one. That could be. Thoughts on Ekatike and Isaac? They're not too bad. It's just sort of the minutes are really up in the air at the moment. The fixtures are coming up are good. It's sort of, in my opinion, waiting to see what this first game holds for us. It kind of might tell us a story on who's going to play quite a lot of minutes here. But yeah, Mo, with your team, bro, I mean, it's probably Gabriel to go tonight. Is my only suggestion here. Pedro Neto seems fine to play. Has been cleared to play this weekend. Gahey could return this weekend as well, it seems. A bit, it's a bit of a stronger side you've got here, and there's not many suggestions I would have. Bench boost, of course, active, so it would be sort of Gabriel sold to maybe Virgil van Dijk is my favourite, in all honesty. So yeah, that's what I would say, Mo. I do think Jack was just before Connor in the chat. I've used my transfers, and Jai out for Gakpo and Gabriel out for O'Reilly. Ooh, strong. Okay. So we're still rocking Voldemar. I respect that, Jack. I respect that. Having the faith. Of course, a home fixture this week. It's not bad, but I do think there are better players out there you can own right now in FPL. For me, sort of looking at things, you've got, I don't think there's many other transfers to be made. I really don't. O'Reilly from next week is probably the best, I would say, to own City defender-wise. Obviously, the risk is there. But, I don't mind the moves. I really don't. Appreciate you sending that in, Jack. I think we had Connor just after as well. Apologies, Connor, if it's taken a while to get your side here. But we know you've already got a pretty good FPL team and a decent rank, even after a pretty disappointing week last week. Is Gakpo a shout? Yeah, I would say so, Jack. I would. Sorry if I'm a bit behind on the messages, guys. I'm looking to get back into the groove of this. Let's have a look here. So Connor's team live on screen for you guys. I'm guessing, Connor, it would be the case that you're looking to sell Gabriel and Kudus this week. In fact, you already have, actually, haven't you? Let me see. Who did you bring in? Who did you bring in, Connor? Let's see. Can't find the message to... Bought in Munoz. That's what it was, Munoz. Munoz, and was it Rice as well, Connor? I think it was Rice, wasn't it? And Jai was sold, wasn't it, for Declan Rice. So Connor's team, yeah, I thought it was in Jai as well, wasn't it? So that's the two transfers made. Oh, no, it was Kudus. It wasn't in Jai, sorry. Kudus instead here. Rice. Rice sold. Good shout, mate. Good picks. Yeah, I think they're good picks, Jack. I really do. So you wouldn't bench Voldemort? I mean, maybe Zach. In all honesty, I maybe would, but you know, it's a home fixture. Newcastle are gonna be up for it. It's just the case. In terms of odds and a data perspective here, you know, it's pretty unlikely that Newcastle are gonna score. Never mind Voldemort, but you know, it's gonna be a really interesting game to watch. Would you bench Truffett or Timber? Ooh, that's a tough one. I would honestly say say Truffett in all honesty. Benching and Jai is probably the way I'd go as well. You could argue benching Voldemort and playing Truffett and playing 4 at the back. That could be an option. I think that's probably how I'd play it in all honesty. I think that's how I'd go about your team this week. Maybe captaining Mateta, but Haaland seems a safe pick here. Only player for him concerned about James. For Connor, he gets a bench. It's a risky one. I think even if he does get a bench, Njai first on the bench here is strong. I mean, you could even go Voldemort first on the bench here, Connor. The transfers themselves, really strong. I like them this game week. Semenyo is a little bit of a doubt as well, but again, you know, fixing your bench, Voldemort and Jai on the bench isn't too bad. I quite like it in all honesty. We'll get the next team on screen here, though. I may be a little bit behind Connor. It might be Palam. Palam? Yes, I think it is. You're next in line, bro. Right, guys, let's see what we think. Not really. He always comes on a sub when he gets benched. I mean, I do think James will start, is my thing there, Jack. So I wouldn't be too concerned, in all honesty, about that. I think there's good upside in Reece James this week. Of course, Burnley isn't too bad of a fixture, guys. Josh Packett. Oh, yes, JP, you were next. Sorry, bro. Plan was just ahead of you in terms of YouTube chat, but I will review your team next on Instagram. If you could send me a screenshot, dude, that would be really handy if you have one for your team. Let me just quickly get that on. We've got Plam's team here, though. Guys, if you could type in chat what you think we should do with the team here, we'll go through a few possibilities for the side. What's your thoughts on Triple Captain Haaland next week? Not a bad option. I think he can kind of pick and choose with the good fixtures coming up for Haaland in the next coming weeks to what week you go ahead. Sort of Triple Captain. I think West Ham's probably the best one. I have new for Game Week 12. What's your side? If it's a wild card, it won't actually load on this software in particular because it doesn't save till after the Game Week 12 one. But in the meantime, once you kind of figure out, and I use wildcard, yeah, I thought so. We do have, where is JP's team? I'm trying to bloody see around the corner of my camera there. Sorry. Let's have a look. Yes, we'll have a look. JP, where you at? JP. There we go. JP's team live on screen here. Guys, what we reckon? What do we reckon? Can I send on Instagram? Yes, you absolutely can. Why Caicedo? He's fixture proof. Caicedo, I would say he's fixture proof. In terms of goals, in FPL though, we're kind of aiming for an asset which can have a little bit more of a higher ceiling. The output is little, but it's consistent, which is kind of the benefit to that type of player. What do you guys think of Caicedo? Obviously, he's one of the highest scoring midfielders in the entire game. Good team that. Yeah, JP's team on screen here, guys. I mean, in terms of transfers, is there anything we would change with JP's team here? It's bench boost week for him as well. Obviously, with the side JP, of course, you've got Soboslai as on the bench here, but he will probably play right back against Forest. I will warn you to that. It seems that way anyway. I'll bench Sunderland defence for Senesi. I mean, he is bench boosting this week, guys, so, you know, all of his players are going to be playing. Bench boost, yeah. Bench boost week for my man. Bench boost week. You can't bench Nessie. He gets DEFCONs. Yeah, it's bench boost week for JP, though, Jack. So he will have all of his assets playing. Oh, I see. Yeah. He should do well. I think he will as well. I really do. Vicario, obviously not as a strong pick this week, but it ain't too bad. It ain't too bad. Vicario to Roos or Henderson? I'd probably go Henderson. With Sunderland's fixtures coming up, they are pretty difficult. I know we're a decent side in the Premier League at the moment, but like, let's be real, guys. It's a really difficult game for us. It really is. What do you reckon though with Sunderland, lads? Obviously, I'm a Sunderland fan, so I watch them all the time. What do you reckon of how we're doing at the moment? Surprising, would you say? It's been a pretty big shock for me. I can't lie to you. I can't send pictures. Oh yes, I'll accept your request, dudes. On Instagram. I don't know why, but it won't let me just let you guys sort of send me messages, which is really annoying. I'd love to just see all your teams all the time, but I do have to accept them for some reason. But yeah, if you send a message request, I'll accept it. Mint, best team in the world. Yeah, Sunderland, best team in the world. To the end, lads, to the end. Yeah, we were on the Instagram team still. Sunderland going to struggle for the longer in the season goes on. Can't keep the form up, but anything like 14th and above is really impressive. Yeah, I agree. See you at the Emirates. I'll see you at the Emirates, mate. Can't wait to steal another point off yous. Look forward to Boxing Day against you when half your players go to AFCON. There's not any fixtures on Boxing Day, though. They changed that, didn't they? I don't know why they changed it, because I really like Boxing Day fixtures. But I swear there's no Boxing Day fixtures now. Welcome back, TikTok, by the way. I had a few technical issues here, but I think I have fixed them. So welcome. Feel free to send your team IDs on the YouTube live stream or on Instagram and X here. There is a team for Kai sent on Instagram. Let me know if you're in the chat, Kai. We can get your team live on screen here. For the meantime, though, lads, while we're getting these message requests through on Instagram, why don't I pull up my team and you can rip into it, folks? AFCON won't affect us as much. Only one player who will be bad is no Siddiqui. Yeah, Siddiqui is massive for us. Absolutely massive. Leeds versus Sunderland on Boxing Day, is it? I didn't know that. Yeah, I would love to keep a hold of as many players as possible through and before AFCON, but you know, it is what it is. Mogs, what's for dinner? Calzone, it's currently downstairs. I will warm it up once I've finished the live stream. Palmers, I've accepted your request on Instagram, by the way, so send your team through. We'll get it live on screen here. Hey, bro. Hi, Anthony. How we doing, man? We've currently got teams over on YouTube live stream, so go join the YouTube live stream. You'll be able to see the teams live on your screen. Right, Reinders got to go now, mate. Yeah, I know, but I can just bench him for now. I can just bench him. I'm all good. Nice, Anthony. Nice. What's in the calzone? I believe it's chicken, salami, and ham. Maybe ham. I don't know. We'll see how it is. We'll see how it is. But yeah, what do you reckon with my squad, guys? I'll put it on screen here. I mean, the moves will probably be made this evening of Gabriel to Virgil van Dijk. I will probably play Mukiele over Rodon, and that would be it. I can hide players like Reinders, Rodon, and Calvert-Lewin on the bench this game week, and probably for next week as well. Calvert-Lewin got to go. Yeah, he will go eventually, but I can just hide him on the bench for now. Palmer's, his team is over here. Calvert-Lewin, I know, dude. He won't play for me for a while, I would imagine. How can I send my team? You can send your team through Instagram, X, or you can send your team ID over on YouTube. You'll be able to see your team live on screen as well on the YouTube live stream. So make sure you join over there. If you need a bit of help finding your team ID as well, let me know. It is just through the FPL website. Go into your team ID in the URL there through Game Week History, that is. But if you need help with that, Finley, let me know. It is a bit easier to send on Instagram, though, if you don't mind. Where can I drop my team? Anthony, if you want your team rating, send me an Instagram message. Send me a DM on X, or send me your team ID. The guys in the chat will help you find your team ID if you need. Can you do Kai's team, bro? Yes, absolutely. I wasn't sure if Kai was in the chat, but he's here, I think. You're literally Friday night dinner, Jim? How was DCL ever going to work? Well, I got him for Burnley and West Ham, so 2 good fixtures, but of course he didn't do anything, so really, really bad. But we did the punt, of course. Palmer's team, though, live on screen here for you guys to look at. What do we reckon of the side? Obviously, De Ligt is a really interesting one this week. A few people starting to talk about him a little bit as an FPL asset, which I find interesting. But yeah, I do quite like him as an asset. It's just sort of the case going for a Manchester United defender isn't quite popular this week. But Palmas, I really like the team. I love Cunha, by the way, as a differential buy this game week. I would definitely consider him if you haven't already. But yeah, it's a strong side, dude. It really is. I would maybe look to play Foden over someone this week, but who would it even be? Who would it even be? Anthony, I'll get to your team just after Kai's. We're going to do Kai's live on Instagram in just a second here. Foden got a start. Yeah, I think I would maybe bench Szoboszlai since he's playing right back potentially. I remember when I triple captained Emmanuel Dennis and he got sent off and -3 points. That was a legendary FPL moment, dude. That's up there in the Hall of Fame. We've got Kai's team, though. Thanks for sending the team, though, Palmaz. I actually think it's a really strong side. I love the differential options you've got as well. Really fun team, dude. This is Kai's team, though, live on screen here. What do we reckon, folks? What do we reckon of Kai's team? Got Estevao as well. So sell Szoboszlai. I wouldn't sell Szoboszlai, no. What I would do is bench him for Foden probably this week. I think the ceiling is a little bit higher in my opinion. But obviously, what do you reckon? Are you going to plan to start Szoboszlai? Farham's in chat. How you doing, bro? Do you think I did a bad choice bringing in Gakpo? No. I mean, I think Gakpo's minutes will be good because it looks like well, both Connor Bradley and Wirtz are going to miss this game week. Alisson is back, though. But here's Kai's team, and he's actually free hitting this game week. Farim says, I was a victim of Diddy. Interesting chat. Thank you very much, Farim. Free hit, though, for Kai this week. Estevao against Burnley. Do you reckon Estevao is a definite starter, though? It is my worry with this, well. It's my worry with this one, bro. Let's have a little look at the predicted lineup, because I think Pedro Neto is available this week. So he's not predicted to start, actually, Estevao, in the predicted lineup I'm looking at here. So that may be a bit of a risky one, Kai. It could be. But if it's a free hit as well, do you really desperate to have Njai on a free hit? because I wouldn't have Njai in a free hit this week, and I wouldn't have Soboslai either. Bro's first ever comment, yeah, but Fareem's Fahim's first comment was, I was a victim of Diddy, which is interesting. And Jai out for someone else. Yeah, I think that's how I'd go about a free hit this week. I think with a free hit, I would go away from Esteval, Soboslai, and Jai personally, and I'd look elsewhere. Nico's in chat. How you doing, Nico? But yeah, I think on a free hit, there's a little bit more opportunity. I think I would go for in all honesty, I think he has a better fixture than Foden. I'll palm it absolutely. Play him then, but I would be aware that Conor Bradley is out for Liverpool this game week, so it would be the case that Soboslai probably fits in at right back, so maybe a less of an effective FPL asset at right back. But of course, if you prefer the fixture, absolutely go for it. But instead of Njai and Soboslai and Esteval, I would maybe look towards some slightly easier fixtures this week. I would personally be looking towards maybe one Aston Villa player, possibly Pedro Neto. You're looking at really targeting some easier fixtures here, in my opinion. Start Thiago or Calafiori. I would start Calafiori. So you were. Farim, I'm not going to kind of entertain this, to be honest, dude. We're talking FPL, bro. But if you want to have a little bit of a laugh, I don't mind. Can we just take a moment to appreciate Foden's assist last week, everyone? Amazing stuff. Was absolutely top-class stuff. Made the game IMO. Foden. I mean, Foden really surprised me as an FPL asset, guys, because I don't know if you're aware of this, right? When you go on Foden, everyone thinks he's a minute's risk. Not you're going to be rotated all the time. Foden has had pretty much 90-minute games since game week 4. What the hell's going on there, guys? I'm possibly looking at bringing in Foden, in all honesty, in game week 13. Crazy, man. Crazy. I couldn't believe it. Hey, yo, what's up, chat? It's been a long time. What's up, Steve, man? Let's go, dude. Is Gyökeres fit? I actually haven't checked if Gyökeres is fit, to be honest with you. Let me have a little look at my notes for you. I do believe Marino is likely to start, though. Arteta declined to comment on the readiness of Noni, Kai, Gabriel Jesus, Odegaard, Martinelli, and Gyökeres. So we actually just don't know. We actually don't know about Gyökeres, Will. Arteta was reluctant to speak on it, but I do think in that case Marino is more likely to start against Spurs. Is Semenyo playing? I think he will personally, Billy, but there is a little bit of doubt around Semenyo this game week. So yeah, what do you reckon, folks, about that quote from Arteta there? Not very telling, I'll tell you that. You bring him in benched. Been absent for a week or two. Oh yeah, Zafran's back in chat. Let's go. I forgot your name. I forgot it was Zafran. Zafran, you need to change your name, bro. I've been sick for a week. Couldn't join Smoke's stream. Good. It's been a bit of an international break, dude. Though, so nice to have a bit of a rest before FPL starts for game week 12. If you are joining on TikTok, make sure you go over to the YouTube live stream, though, guys. We're rating teams live right now. Probably going to be live for another maybe half an hour or so, 20 minutes or so. How long will Bradley be injured for? That's a good question. I don't know the timing of it, in all honesty. Let's have a little look at what I've wrote down, though. Conor Bradley is not able to play. Both have muscle issues. I don't expect Conor to be a part of the up-and-coming 22 days. I don't know why he's so specific there on 22 days. But yeah, Conor Bradley not expected to be playing for a while. It could be the case that, in terms of Liverpool's lineup, guys, yes, Szoboszlai is probably the more likely player to play at right back. We could see Curtis Jones play there. I do think it's going to be Slobberslide, though. I do. Slobberslide, for me, at right back, isn't actually a bad player. Yeah, so I would expect that personally. Maybe Ekatike starting up front as well is what I would think. Be interesting to see the minutes sort of between Ekatike and Isak in the coming weeks as well. Will says, do I take the risk with playing Gyökeres, or do I take the -4 for Gyökeres and Jai to Saka and Thiago? Ooh. I would maybe take a transfer out of Gyökeres this week, Will. I would. Mateta or Haaland captain this week. Let's have a bit of a discussion about captaincy in just a second. I'll just quickly reply to Pam's message here. So Soberside will play right back for a while. It's probably the likely outcome, but, you know, Curtis Jones could play there, potentially. And Buemo is the obvious captaincy choice. So do you think I should keep him or sell him? I'm on wildcard now. I would, if you're on wildcard, I would definitely get rid of Soberside. So with the captaincy discussion, for me this week, there are a few options I could consider. For me, I'm currently aiming towards Jean-Philippe Mateta. I think that's the way I'm going to go about it. But Haaland is tempting. He's the obvious pick. Obviously, he's absolutely smashing things up at the moment. The doubt in my mind about Mateta this week, though, is the new manager bounce of Rob Edwards coming in for Wolves. Is it going to be a big deal for a Palace side who really are quite good in the Premier League? YouTube clears this by far. It does. The only reason TikTok looks like this right now, though, Connor, is because of the fact that... oh, sorry, Anthony. I did forget your team there, bro. We'll get your team live on screen, though. But yeah, the reason TikTok does look like this is because it just... my stream will just get taken down if it looks any different. So make sure you join the YouTube live stream if you're watching on TikTok. But sorry, Anthony. Your team's live on screen here. Mateta always does nothing when I captain him, so I don't know. Well, Orange, if you captain someone else and I captain Mateta, that might actually work out then. Anthony's team, though, here. Sorry, Anthony, that took a while. Been replying to loads of different messages here. It got kind of lost in chat. Gabriel's probably the target to get rid of this week. Burn as well could be someone you get rid of. But Achapong on the bench, would he play? I don't think he will. So it'll be Mukiele in for Burn. Gabriel, I would probably move on to Virgil van Dijk or Munoz this week. I do like Virgil van Dijk quite a lot. And he does rise in price tonight, so if you wanted to make that move, I would probably make it this evening. Which Liverpool midfielder should I get? Not Salah. Gakpo is probably my answer to that one. I think he's the only midfielder I would consider an FPL from Liverpool right now. Salah seems a bit too expensive. I like the idea of owning Mohamed Salah, but the amount of players you can buy with the money spread out is quite impressive. And I think it kind of builds up sort of, you know, a good overall team rather than just putting money into sort of Haaland and Salah. That's kind of how I had my team set up a few weeks ago. Changed it up, and we're doing a little bit better in FPL at the moment. So I think, Anthony, that's how I would kind of look at your team this week. Only one transfer needed, in my opinion. You could look to get Njai out potentially. Is there anyone we could really go to? I think Cunha, at the perfect sort of price range there. I would actually go to Cunha. I would go to Cunha this week with your side. I wish I could buy Cunha this week. I wish I could buy Foden next week. There was players on my radar for sure. So maybe buy Gakpo. Yeah, Gakpo isn't too bad of a buy. Why is my team not updated? Are you on wildcard, Anthony? If you're on wildcard, it won't update on this software. What you can do, though, is you can send me a screenshot of your wildcard team on Instagram. We can get it up that way. That's not a problem. Just send me a message on Instagram. I'll accept your request. You can send a screenshot if you don't mind, dude. Who will start between Creepy Jr. and Evan Nielsen against West Ham? I suspect Evan Nielsen, Billy. I suspect Evan Nielsen. I have Van de Ven. You've already made transfers. That's no worries, dude. We can make them transfers. 2 seconds. Virgil van Dijk, sorry. I'm guessing you've sold Gabriel and Senesi in for Burn. Senesi in. Yeah, there you go, dude. Anthony, that should be all set for your team this week. I mean, to be fair, I didn't really think of doing an extra defensive transfer there for Burn. Because you could just play Mukele and save that transfer. Would you consider benching Njai for someone like Mukele this week? Start Thiago or Calafiori? Calafiori for me. Buy Van Dijk or Timber? That's a tough one. If you're aiming for a long-term replacement, Van Dijk. Timber, I think, is a little bit of a shorter-term move, but still, his fixtures aren't too bad. They're just not as good as Van Dijk's. But Anthony, I've got your team there on stream, though. What do you reckon, folks? I think it's really solid, to be fair, with those transfers. The only thing I would maybe change is Njai to Mukele this week, but then Njai probably has a high ceiling against United away from home. Is Reece James a good pick? I think so, Billy. I think he's really good. It's just a little... It's a bit risky with minutes, but I think he is really strong as an FPL asset. You going on I'm a Celebrity next year, lad? I'm going in this year, actually. You'll see us in a few episodes' time. Sadly, there won't be as many live streams, but, you know. Yeah, I think it is a nice team. Anthony's got a great team here. No Njai ammo. Yeah, I think Njai moving on next week isn't bad. I mean, if we look at game week 13 and sell Njai, we've got 8.1 to play with Anthony's team there, so I think he's in a good spot regardless. I don't think Njai's bad against Manchester United away from home. I just don't think it's as good as other assets, but you know, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to take the -4 at all. Because it doesn't have a... I don't like playing a back four. That's completely fine. Some people do like it, though, this week. Not this week, just in FPL in general with defensive contributions. But that's probably how I would play it. I would maybe... You know, Saka captain isn't a bad shout. Senesi was the long-term pick. Yeah, Senesi's strong. Senesi's really strong. Yeah, I mean, till game week 19, the fixtures are really good. I mean, Chelsea and Manchester United in the middle isn't that good, but, like, around it, perfect. Is one of the Bush took a trial, stay in a box with FPL mugs for 5 minutes? It is, actually. How did you know that? When should I free hit? Depends on your team, dude. Depends on your team. Free hit, though, I would say maybe before we get the top of 5 free transfers could be a shout. My team is Raya, Senesi, Richards, Virgil, and Semenyo. Saka, captain, Enzo, Sar, Haaland, Voltemade, João Pedro. Thoughts? I think it's a good side. I think Voltemade I would probably get rid of this week. Pardon me. The fixtures aren't too good for Newcastle coming up. I think going for Thiago early before Burnley next week isn't too bad. Of course, an early transfer could be sort of a bit detrimental in terms of, let's say you bench Thiago this week, not used him. You get to next week and he's got an injury. You know, it is what it is. But having Thiago ready in your side doesn't feel bad for next week's fixture. Any Villa assets good? Yeah. I don't mind Villa for the very... it feels short term, but, you know, it's not that short term in all honesty. Leeds this week, of course. Thinking of GW out next week for Thiago? Yeah. Strong, Anthony. I think Thiago next week's really good. Got to go eat, lads. Sadly, should be around tomorrow's stream, assuming you don't. I don't oversleep. Have a good Friday evening, broski. Yeah, I'll probably be leaving very shortly for my food as well, dude. But I will see you tomorrow morning, for the live stream, bro. I will do. Don't worry if you're sleeping a little bit, bro. But yeah, Villa assets aren't too bad this week. In terms of who I would go for, though, is kind of up in the air. Semenyo or Rodgers? Ooh, probably Semenyo, even though there's that doubt around him. So who would I buy instead of Soboslai? Maybe Gakpo, if you still want to stay on the YouTube, the Liverpool sort of lineup there. Voltemade for Mateta? Yeah. If you don't have him, Who should I captain? It depends who's in your side, but I'm assuming Haaland's in there. I would go Haaland. Haaland doesn't seem bad. Mateta as well. Hey, how can I get a rating? Join the YouTube live stream. Send me a message on Instagram. Send me your team ID in the chat. Any way you want to send it, you can do. Yo, I don't play FPL here. Let's go, dude. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining, man. But yeah, if you want your team rating, go over to the YouTube live stream. Send me a screenshot of your team on Instagram. Send me your team ID. Any way you want to do it is completely fine. Would Watkins be back in form against Leeds? I mean, back in form is not how I would frame it. I would say this game could get him on the route back to form. I don't think just because it's a decent fixture that, you know, instantly is implied he's, you know, pretty decent. But the fixture itself is maybe a starting point for some form to start for some Villa players. I think Rodgers isn't too bad either. Wendy is a bit of a differential shout. I only have 6.7 million left in the bank, so Gakpo's too expensive. I mean, Plam, you could move elsewhere with your side as well. I'm going to get your team up on stream here. So yeah, this is Pam's team here. I would honestly go away from Soboslai. I mean, you could even go further down in price from Soboslai, a bit of a cheaper asset, and put Foden in this week. In terms of saving a bit of money, I don't know if there is a spot where you would save money. Maybe O'Reilly to a cheaper defender, De Ligt to a cheaper defender. I wouldn't mind it. How do I get a team rating? Join the YouTube live stream, bro. Send a screenshot of your team on Instagram. Send me your team ID in chat. Any way you want to get your team rated, you can do so. Yeah, sending an Instagram screenshot is probably the easiest way to do it, I would suggest. But yeah, you'll see your team live on screen if you go join the YouTube live stream. Which Palace defender do you expect Munoz would be the best to buy? I expect Munoz the best to be buy. I think Richards is probably the best to buy from Palace just because at his price point he feels like a really great value. Anything on Semenyo? Yeah, he's a bit of a doubt this week, which is interesting. I thought it would be okay. What's your acting? So it's just FPL Mogs, the same as you're seeing on TikTok here, Andre. Currently on 400k overall, pushing 100k by game of 15. Let's go, Anthony. I think your team's good enough. Good enough to combat that goal, you know. Watkins was over Mateta. No, I'd play Mateta this week. Okay, so you think maybe sell someone else, then buy Gakpo? Yeah, if you want a Liverpool player, you could downgrade De Ligt or O'Reilly to a cheaper asset. And then upgrade Soboslai to Gakpo is probably how I'd play it personally. Let me know your thoughts on that, dude. I just think it's a bit of a safer play with the likelihood that Soboslai plays right back. But if you like Soboslai, you still absolutely can pick him. Just because I don't like him personally doesn't mean, like, you know, you don't have to pick him. What do you think about Ekitike? It's kind of just watching Liverpool's minutes all around the board. For me personally, I wouldn't make the move as early as this week, especially against the Forest side, you know. Especially against the Forest side. For him says sorry. Don't worry, bro. It's okay. Voltemade to Thiago or Ekitike, it would be to Thiago. It would be to Thiago. Andre, I've got your request, bro. Send your team through, Andre. I've accepted your request on Instagram here. But make sure you join the YouTube live stream, Andre, to see your team live on this screen. We've got Andre's team here, though, to have a little look at. Let me know when you're in the chat, Andre. How do you feel about Conte? I don't mind it, Charlie. I don't mind it. I think there's just Matty Cash and Digne don't seem bad moves. So I would maybe look at them too. But Concert, if you like you own them already, isn't bad. Really isn't bad. We've got Andre's team on screen here on YouTube. Andre, let me know when you're in chat, bro. And we'll have a little think about what you're going to do with your squad this week. It looks like triple captain is active for Andre this game week. Andre making the big plays. The big plays. João Pedro, triple captain. That's the first one I've seen this game week. Triple captain, that is. But Andre absolutely going for it this week. Absolutely going for it. I mean, the team itself is incredibly strong. So why not, eh? Why not? I would honestly look to play Senesi this week, but who on earth do you bench? Who on earth do you bench? That's such a tricky one, Andre. That's such a tricky one. What do we think about Andre's triple captain, though, guys? Took a -4 this week because I had Burn and Gabriel. Ooh. I still, though, with the -4, I mean, you've built a team there that looks really great. I mean, Reinders, I would probably sell next week if his minutes aren't good again. But obviously, he's on the bench this week, so it doesn't even matter. Triple captain, though, Andre. Going for it, dude. Absolutely going for it. I would wait for Haaland against West Ham at home. But Burnley away for João Pedro isn't too bad. I'm planning on free hit next. Don't worry. Nice, nice. I send my team. I'm on wildcard. Oh, we'll get your team up in a second, Nico, then. Where have you sent your team, dude? I can't see it on Instagram, Nico. Oh, I sent it on X. That's why. I'll get it up. Last team that we're rating here, though, on stream. Nico has sent it on X. We'll get it up. He's on a wildcard this week. Let's have a little look. All. Two seconds, Nico. I'm trying to find that message. Last team rating here. Where is your side, Nico? I can't see the message, dude, for some reason. I can't see it, Nico. Worldwide rank is 1.4, which I'm not too happy with. I've fallen off in all my leagues. Dude, I wouldn't worry about it. Honestly, I don't think rank matters that much right now. I think when you get to game week 19, when everyone's used their first round of chips, that's when I'd maybe judge rank a little bit more. But overall, it's not bad, dude. I can send it again. Yeah, if you don't mind, Nico. I can't see it on X here, dude. I don't know where it is. Yeah, send it through again. Well, yeah, one last team rating, and then we're going to end stream. And, of course, the deadline stream is tomorrow, guys. Not worried about rank, but looking forward to this week. Hopefully my team doesn't let me down like last. Andre, your team is solid, bro. I mean, triple captain, of course. I expect a few extra points this week. I hope João Pedro does quite good, though. Okay, so I need a 4.2 defender so I can buy Gakpo. Can you help me to choose which one and who should I sell? Yeah, in a second, Plan A. We're just going to wait on... Actually, to be fair, I think while Nico's sending... How do I see my team code? So, Nico, if you go onto the actual sort of internet in your browser, log into FPL, click Game Week History, you will find your team ID in the search bar. It's just the little numbers. But we're helping Palm out here just quickly. We'll get his team back on screen so you can see what I'm talking about, dude. So how would I go about your team, bro? What would I do? Let's think about this. So, for me, Soboslai would get sold if you really wanted Gakpo this week to Gakpo. O'Reilly would move all the way down to a 4.2 probably. You could even get Mukele of Sunderland. I don't think he's a bad shout. Alderete of Sunderland isn't a bad shout either. Who else would I consider at a cheap price point? Chris Richards you could look at. Obviously a little bit more expensive. But I would reshuffle ever so slightly if you needed Gakpo in your side, bro. I'm back. Hey, Connor. We're almost about to end stream, to be fair, Connor. We're just looking at Nico's team really quickly. What's your best game week rank so far, Mogs? Ooh, I think it's like top 100k game week rank. Somewhere around there. I think, yeah. Nico's team on screen here. How would we fix Nico's team? I would honestly sell Dan Burn. Look to go for Chris Richards. I think that's the play I would go for, Nico. Because the team elsewhere looks pretty strong. Obviously, Voldemar next week could probably go. What would you do about Semenyo? I would just keep him. I'm keeping him personally. I don't think it's time to sell him. It's a bit of a knock. We'll see if he plays. If he doesn't play, just make sure you got good bench cover. If you don't have good bench cover, maybe it is the time to sell. But I don't think this week's the week to get rid of Semenyo. If you can, just keep him one more. I need to get some sleep up at 2 a.m. for the Ashes. Then watch your stream. Then go to match. Nice, dude. Not my team. That's not your team ID that you sent me then, bro. That's not your team then if you've sent the wrong code, Nico. I'll try find the screenshot you sent on X, but I honestly can't find it, dude. I've been trying to gatekeep Richards. Had him since game week 4. Yeah, he's a really solid pick, Richards. Really, really solid, dude. I really like him. If you're planning to bench boost, would you keep Semenyo? Ooh. If I've got Semenyo, I would actually delay the bench boost. But if your team looks really good and it's only Semenyo, maybe you could get rid. Maybe. But, like, for me, Semenyo is really nice to have a bit longer term here, guys. West Ham, Sunderland, Everton, Chelsea, Man United, Burnley, Brentford. There's some good fixtures there. There is some good fixtures in the mix. Take out Gabriel or take in Saka. Can't do both without a -4. For me, Gabriel. I would get rid of Gabriel and buy someone else. I think that's what I would do. If Semenyo doesn't play, I'm happy with Senesi against West Ham. Yeah, Senesi against West Ham's good. Very good. Andre, your team's solid, bro. Absolutely solid. But yeah, Nico, I can't see your team here, bro. If you can send it over in the next few minutes, that would be great. The stream's going to end really soon. If you want to send it on Instagram, if you want to have a little look again at your team ID, because that one, it wasn't yours, apparently. Did you find my team? I can't find your team, dude, no. You haven't sent it on on X, I don't think. I can't see it. We'll have another look, though. Yeah, it's not coming up, bro. So get Virgil and keep Njai and Voldemar, or get Saka instead. Oh, I didn't know those were part of the move. I mean, Gabriel's not going to play, so I would get rid of him. You could take the -4. I sent it on your latest post. I've got it on screen there, Nico. We've found it. There you go, Nico. Yeah, I would get Gabriel's not going to play, so I'll get rid of him. If you want to get Saka, you could take the -4 there. You could keep Gabriel on your bench and make some other moves to get Saka as well. But I think Gabriel's probably a priority sell for me. There we go, Nico. I found your team, bro. Sorry, I thought you sent it as a DM. But your team this week, is there anything I would change? Nah. I think your team's brilliant. Captain on Mo Salah, very bold as well, very bold. Your Instagram messages don't allow photos. They will do. I just need to accept your request, which I will do right now. This was the last team rating, but we're going to go ahead and accept your request. So send me a message. How do you do a wildcard team on another app? I use Plan FPL. What's the actual type? FPL.team, and use their planning tool. So if you just type in FPL.team on your internet browser, that's how you can make your sort of wildcard team without being on the FPL app. Pardon me. I got hiccups tonight. Hi Robert, I've got your team. I've accepted your request there, Robert. So if you want to send your team screenshot, we can get it on after Nico's team here. But yeah, Nico, I think your wildcard team is really strong. I really do. I'll sell maybe Munoz to Anderson and Martinez to a Sunderland keeper. I would keep Martinez maybe. But yeah, it's a good wildcard, Nico. I like it. Right, we've got Robert's team here. Are we playing Semenyo? I'm playing Semenyo, yeah. We've got Robert's team here. What would we do with this side this week? Doku's an interesting one for me. Doku's a really interesting one for me this week because I don't believe his minutes are going to be overly strong in the coming weeks, but with the performances he's been putting in, surely he's earned a few more minutes from Pep. He's kind of been used mostly as an impact sub or comes off quite early. But I think he could be really useful in this particular game week. Pinning back sort of the fullbacks of Newcastle is probably going to be a way to go ahead and win the game. So I think he could be decent. Will Cash play? I think he could play, yeah. Never sleep. Cash could be an interesting move. But if your team, Robert, sorry, I was just answering a question there. Gahey could come in instead of Doku if you're worried about minutes. But overall, it's a really solid side, bro. Really solid side. Of course, no Haaland is a bit of a worry here, but I would look at getting Haaland next week when the fixtures start to change for City, if you can do. Obviously, there may have to be a big reshuffle with your side, possibly selling Mohamed Salah there. Let me know what your thoughts are with that one, though. But it is a nice side. It's just missing that Haaland for me. It just is missing that Haaland. Of course, if you don't want Haaland in FPL, I understand that. But yeah, I'll definitely look at getting him in next week, at least, for his good fixture run against Leeds starting next game week. But really nice side, Robert. Really appreciate you sending that in, man. And Buemo or Saka captain? I'll probably lean more towards Saka, bro. I'll probably lean towards Saka a little bit more. Right, guys, I think what we'll do is I'll end stream there. I'm going to go have my tea, have a good night's rest before the deadline stream tomorrow. I can play Anderson, Richards, Ansonesi, or go back and keep Gabriel, or you can get Saka. Anderson, Richards, Senesi is quite strong and keep Gabriel, but you will lose out on the price drop this game week, though, dude. He's going to drop in price tonight, Gabriel, just so you're aware. I keep underestimating Haaland every week. I'm cooked. You are a little cooked, but it's okay, bro. It's okay. Zafran sent your team on Insta. Zafran, I was about to end stream there, but I will quickly look because you're one of the boys. We'll get it up, bro. 2 seconds, Zafran. Right, a quick look at Zafran's team before we end stream. That's exactly how I'd pick your 11, bro. That's exactly how I'd do with the 11. Captaincy, I'd probably put on Saka or Haaland. And Buemo feels an interesting one against Everton, but like it is quite strong still. So yeah, that's how I would set up Zafran, bro. That's how I would set up. What do you reckon? I think this is the way to set it up, personally, Zafran. I think you've done well. But yeah, I'm going to end stream there, though, guys. I'll be on the deadline stream tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. UK time, so feel free to join there. Follow the page, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I will see you all in the morning. See you later now, guys. Speak to you tomorrow. See ya.